Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Saturday, the 13th of April, 2024. We'll start off as usual with the synoptic situation. So as of midnight last night, then, predominantly this high pressure down in over Europe is still predominantly saving us. All the low pressure shooting across well to the north of us. However, we are getting encroached by this low pressure here and the various fronts that are going to be close to us throughout the second half of the day. So if we run through to midday today, you can see that this cold front, there's still a warm sector, moist warm sector, which is what you can see outside, but it's going to stay just to the north of us, I think, for our flying day. It's going to leave us in a very, very similar situation to yesterday, I believe. I've just run through for tomorrow. Midnight last night, cold front goes through, and we're hoping for a reasonably nice westerly air mass tomorrow. So let's hope we'll have another nice day. Anyway, let's carry on for today. Spot winds today indicating about 230, 240 at 20 knots. And the cloud, you can see now that, again, down the bottom, we're in this sort of top cover, sort of cirrusy stuff in the dregs of the warm front that's gone and the approaching cold front, and it's just sort of hanging overhead us throughout the day. This is the cold front here, this line here, and it's going to just stay. If I run it backward and forward, you'll see it just stays just literally to the north of us. So rainfall is going to be zero really because of that. You can see the rain associated with that cold front over to the north, and we're in a nice clear air mass pretty well for the day. But that's the actual rain forecast, and the projected forecast, if I run through the day, we're pretty clear. You can see the cold front stuff up here, but it doesn't actually get anywhere near us in our normal flying day. So this end is dying and decaying. So around about 5 o'clock this evening, it's almost non-existent. Local air forecast is showing overcast up until about 11 o'clock, and then bright in the afternoon, pretty well identical to yesterday, I would suggest. Southwest wind, about 13 knots. There are some gusts today, which are only up to 20 knots, but there are some gusts we need to take into account. GFS is indicating max temperature today of 16 degrees and a dew point down at about 10, maybe 11. If you're outside the window, the wind is strengthening. When I took this shot about half an hour ago, there was certainly 5 knots less wind, but the wind is strengthening, but it's straight down runway 23. And actual forecast at the moment in Lasham is just off 12 degrees temperature with dew point at about 10 degrees. But I just put this slide up really just to reiterate the fact that the winds are increasing slightly. We just had a gust of 22 knots, but the mean winds around about 14 and 15. If I can just show the Odium METAR, 12 knots in the southwest, 10k or more, and the TAFIS, they don't show weekends, but cross to Farnborough, 9 knots in the southwest, 10k or more. Broken clouds initially at a height of 1,000 feet is pretty well probably what we've got at the moment. But as we run through the day from 8 o'clock onwards, broken clouds at 900, and then 9 o'clock onwards, few clouds at 3,500 feet. So it's going to be pretty similar, I think, to yesterday. This few clouds at 3,500 feet is because of an inversion that we've got over us at the moment, which is strong enough to preclude any cumulus type and reduced thermal heights. So if I run through top med here, they're indicating blue thermals by about 4 o'clock this afternoon to about 1,000 feet. This Q here is all associated with the cold front. It's not actually going to reach us in our flying day. And sky sight is slightly less optimistic, I would say. We've got the lower clouds and mist initially, upper clouds, which we're going to have all day like we did yesterday, nothing in between. Possible soaring to around about 1,600 feet, they're indicating perhaps later on. Winds 12 knots, 230, 240, pretty well, and gusts about 18 knots, which sort of links in with what we've seen before. And no temps really to affect today. So if you look at the actual airfield setup and operations for today, we have no reported movements. We'll set up on yesterday, 2-3, same as yesterday, dry operation now. The grass seems to be recovering reasonably well for us to use that. We just need to cone off a little area with some tyres just to stop you driving through, bringing the gliders to the actual winch launch area. Southwesterly wind all day, some top cover, exactly as we saw yesterday, but weak blue thermals possibly from midday onwards. And there is this quite strong inversion around about 3,500 feet today. So if you manage to get to 3,000, you'd be lucky, I think. We're certainly not going to get the temperatures to break that inversion. We've got 1K21 available for casual lists all day. SH2 and SH3 are also available for casual flying. 1K13 available casual flying in the morning. The rest of the remaining two-seaters and single-seaters are booked. Caution, please. I mentioned this yesterday. Field is drying out. Please do not use a wheel brake on the grass at the moment. And reminder about the bugged radios. That's working really well. Thanks for that. Simulator, of course, is always available. Thanks again for those on the casual list. We can see we've got 6 people down here. And thanks, Chris Marin, as well, because it's really important for me to know what instructors are available to help throughout the day as well. So please keep that up. And operation then, runway 23 as normal. Launch points on the western side, aerotows on the eastern side, winch down the bottom. Wind is pretty well straight down the strip, landing left or right, should be fine. I'm going to get the launch point vehicle out on runway 23 in the next 10-15 minutes. I'd suggest it's probably going to be an hour or so before really it's going to be sensibly viable. But if you'd like to go and get the gliders ready as normal, and we'll see you all out there later. Bye-bye.